We begin with updates on the Russia-Ukraine war. The Ukrainian capital city of Kyiv was rocked by explosions early this morning as it came under heavy Russian bombardment. Ukraine says Russia fired drones and both ballistic and cruise missiles at its capital city. There were reports of dozens of loud blasts and air defense fire, with air alerts lasting for nearly 3 hours. Social media pictures showed people in Kyiv taking shelter in underground stations, and the attack left at least 10 people injured and damaged residential buildings and industrial facilities. An apartment building and multiple cars were on fire in central Kyiv. Now, this was the first large missile attack on Kyiv in recent weeks, and Ukraine says its air defenses downed all 31 missiles that targeted the capital. The head of Kyiv's military administration said the Russian military used strategic bombers to launch the missiles. And the missile and drone attack came just hours after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky underscored the lack of air defense systems.
Necessary aid is being provided to every injured person, but this is not enough, and everyone must realize this. Kharkiv needs an adequate number of air defense systems. The Sumy region needs it too. Chernihiv region and all other regions suffering from Russian terror need it. These defense systems exist among our partners, and our partners need to understand that air defense must protect lives.
Now, just hours before the attack on the capital city, a Russian missile had hit an industrial area in Kharkiv, and at least 5 people were killed and a dozen injured in that attack, while causing a major fire at a printing house. And on Wednesday, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan made a surprise visit to Kyiv. In fact, Sullivan vowed that Washington's support to Ukraine would in fact continue. He also assured that a major U.S. aid package that has been blocked by the Republicans would in fact get to Ukraine. However, he was unable to put a timeline on when he expected the package to pass. The legislation has been languishing in the lower chamber of Congress for weeks now.
We have stood by your side since this war began. We have provided enormous support, and we will continue to do so every day in every way we know how. Now, I know there are questions here because of the back and forth in our Congress in the months that have gone by without the supplemental bill coming through, the package of aid that you rightly deserve and that President Biden is fighting for every day, the $60 billion that the Senate has passed on a bipartisan basis, and now we're working with the House to pass. But from our perspective, we are confident we will get this done. We will get this aid to Ukraine.
Now, just last month, the U.S. Senate approved the $60 billion emergency aid package for Ukraine. But House Speaker Mike Johnson has refused to bring it to the floor for a vote. Yet House Democrats are desperately attempting to corral the votes to bring the package to the floor for a House vote. And it was a week ago that the White House announced an additional $300 million in military aid to Ukraine.
I'm confident that we will achieve Plan A. We will get a strong bipartisan vote in the House for an assistance package for Ukraine, and we will get that money out the door as we should. So I don't think we need to speak today about Plan B. So there is a wide understanding in the United States that Ukraine matters, that the security and future of Ukraine matters to the security and future of the United States of America, and that we want to help a friend and a partner, but we also want to help ourselves in helping you. Now, of course, there are politics and procedures and obstacles to getting this done, and I can understand how frustrating that is as you fight this war and seek further assistance. But I want you to know that among members of Congress and among the American people, there continues to be a deep and strong reservoir of support for what you are doing.
Now, the political deadlock in Washington has coincided with Russia's most significant gains in 9 months. This includes the capture of the industrial town of Avdiivka after months of heavy fighting. Russian troops occupy now more than a sixth of Ukraine's total territory and are on the offensive in the east.